This short video is going to focus on two things: how to control your bullets, their location and the spacing between the bullet and the text, and right align tab stops to make sure that the information that's supposed to be aligned to the margin is actually aligned. If you're looking for a video that's talking about resumes and how to actually construct them, look for the other video called Resumes. This one is just on these two formatting points. So let's get started. You can see here in the standard accepted format for the School of Business Management and Technology, we have these really tightly aligned bullets here. We're not wasting a lot of space between the bullet and the text that follows it. Remember, this resume is your data sheet. You want to make sure that you can dedicate as much real estate as you can to how amazing you are and not waste a bunch of space on the page. You also want to guarantee that this text always lines up. Remember, your document is going to be opened up on several different computers, and depending how the user has their default fonts set, it might cause these things to come out of line. Or you might have someone that suggests you make other formatting changes, like turning something to bold or stop bolding something. And when you make those kinds of changes, it'll affect how this stuff lines up. So we want to make sure that it always lines up. And that happens because of a tab stop. So let's go over to a Word document and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so here we have a tab stop from a previous student. And I'm going to focus on these bullet points first, and then we're going to focus on how to line this up. Now, all of these dots that you see here are just indicating that the student has used the space bar to push this all the way out. If you want to open up your document and see what your formatting looks like, go to the Home tab and click on this button, and it shows what's going on in the background. These things never print, but as a designer, it helps you see what formatting is taking place in the document. So let's get started on this. So we are going to make sure our ruler bar is turned on. And if your ruler bar isn't, then go to View, look for the checkbox that says Ruler, and then you should see your ruler bar. Once you turn that on, notice these little indent indicators here. That's showing where your margin is, and there's one on the other side as well. So I'm going to select my first set of bullets that I want to format. I'm just going to click here on the edge and click and select. So now when we look back up in our ruler bar, you can see these two sliders are in different locations. It's doing that because it's showing you how the formatting is set for the area that I've just selected. So first thing I want to do is pull those bullets out to the margin, and then I'm going to close up the space between the bullet and the text. So the top slider, you can see the pop-up calls it a first line indent. I'm going to grab that and pull it all the way out so that it lines up with the text above it. Next, I'm going to grab the lower one where it says hanging indent. Make sure it says hanging indent, not left indent. All right, that's the little box underneath it. You want to make sure that you're grabbing the hanging indent. And I'm going to click that slider and drag it all the way back to the very last hash mark before that upper indent that I slid over a second ago. And you can see that I have closed up all of this extra space here. The second thing I'm going to do is show you how to use the right align tab stop, and I'm going to need the ruler for that too. So first thing I need to do is delete out all of these extra spaces that the student has in here. I'm just going to highlight and backspace out and delete all of that on both of these rows. Okay, I'm going to leave these two arrows here because this indicates the student has pressed the tab key on the keyboard, and we actually do need a tab. So I'm going to go back to my ruler bar, and all the way out here to the left you can see this little L. That's indicating that a left tab is set. I want to do a right align tab, so I'm going to click this button 2 times. 1, 2. And now when I hover over it, you can see it says right tab, and I've got this little backward L indicated on the button. I'm going to go over here to my ruler and find the very last hash mark all the way out to the right, and I'm just going to click it. When I click it, you can see 2 things happen. I've got a right align, a backward L showing me a right align tab, And you could see that the line my insertion point was active on automatically jumped that out there. I'm going to click here in front of Raleigh and do the same thing. So I've already switched this over to a right-align tab stop, so I don't have to do anything with that. All I have to do is come up to my ruler bar, click the very last hash next to the end, and I've got a right-align tab stop here. Now for a document that's already been created, I'm going to have to do that for every place where I need to bump out information. If you set all of these things at the very beginning before you start creating your resume, you only have to change these settings one time, and it carries through for the rest of the document. You only have to repeat this process if you're dealing with a document that's already been created. So good luck. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to see some fantastically formatted resumes.